This this is the last video you need for 2021. And if you don't watch it, you haven't ended 2021.
Change your perspective, change your life. Listen, the only way to win is through positivity.
Well, well. We thought the year wasn't gonna end. We thought it wouldn't end. When it was in the beginning of the year, we never knew what this year was gonna bring, right? We just thought this was gonna be a year filled with some maybe worse things that were gonna happen. But for me, this year was a year of a real awakening in my body and in my spirit. And this year was one of the most bumpiest and smoothest, a roller coaster, a smooth road. Everything was there for me this year. Like, I will not lie, each and everything you can think of that can happen to someone almost happened to me. Well, not almost, actually did happen to me. Because, like, yeah, I got robbed. Yeah, I really did. I lost some money. Yeah, I gained money. Yeah, I lost people. I gained more people. There's so much that happened to me this year. I can't even comprehend. Like, I almost walked the entire city this year. If I was counting my steps, I am dead certain. If I'm counting like how much I walked this year, I'm sure I walked this whole entire city on my feet, like for I don't know, maybe 3 days or 4 days non-stop. Because yeah, this year everything it was just a year to remember. And I would like to put in some of sort of the key things I learned this year was that perspective matters. Perspective, you hear that? Perspective, that word perspective. I want you to take it, write it down, and don't ever forget it. Perspective on each and every situation you are in really matters. Perspective matters. Your perspective on each and every issue you overcome or you come across matters. And I think people don't understand that. Two, I would like to say that you need to learn to start trusting your gut. You need to learn to start trusting your intuition. I don't know what you call it. Maybe you call it the Holy Spirit. You call it gut feeling, intuition. You need to trust that voice that's speaking inside of you right now. That voice, listen to it. That voice, you need to listen to it. And sometimes it leads you to an unknown path. But that unknown path is either there to make or break you. And if it breaks you, it builds you up again. And that you just cannot help someone who is not ready to be helped. If someone is not ready to be helped, there's nothing you can absolutely do. You cannot help someone who isn't ready to be helped. Some people are just comfortable in their own problems. They've had those problems, and it's a nice place to be. They manage to live. They manage to live actually greatly within those problems. And if you try to come help them, they think you're about to add more problems to those problems which they haven't solved because of there's a lot of things that go with that. So I learned that you just cannot help someone who's not willing or ready to be helped. I learned the importance of gratitude. The importance of gratitude is big. And it also goes with perspective. I think gratitude and perspective go hand in hand. Everything I'm talking about goes hand in hand because you need to be grateful for each and everything. And I mean everything in your life. I learned a lot in the business world this year, like in terms of business shit. I learned so much. Like, I was just like, let me go into some business shit, and yeah, I'm like, this year I actually managed to get the house started. Like, we're actually trying to move, and I'm hoping next year I'll get more lessons and I'll start, moving. It comes with its problems, the house problems are problems that actually keep me up at night sometimes. Like, I'll be thinking like, what the hell am I gonna do about this? What the hell am I gonna do about that? The house has a lot of problems. A lot of people see it and think, oh, this is going good. Well, I don't know about that. It's going good, like net, it's going good, but um for me, right, as a person, like, actually learned like what it means to be a leader in something. Like, it doesn't, like, I always thought of it as like someone who is always, doing nothing. They are doing this, they're just like they're just like there, and they don't even know what they're doing there. They're just there to see what's going on. But I actually learned that to be a leader, you need to lead in everything you're doing. You need to lead in everything you're doing. To be a leader in something, you need to lead in everything you are doing. I don't care if it's waking up in the morning, if it's conducting what, or doing this. You need to to take action in everything, so that people actually can understand what you mean. Because I actually learned that it needed me to first take action on something for people I am with to actually start following and understanding what I mean. Some of those actions were sort of really huge for me. Managing to actually talk to a lot of executives, a lot of people in sort of huge positions out there, like, really changed my perspective a lot. I actually got to know what it means for these different people in different high positions. Because I remember speaking to that guy at Zach's place. I don't think that video right there, I learned a lot from that guy. Like, really, I learned a lot in what he does and how he thinks. I learned a lot about how people think. And for something like that, you need to understand how people think if you're gonna enter into a world where things are constantly changing, evolving. There's competition, there's lots of competition. You need to understand how people think, and your decisions need to map according to how people think. So for that, I think in business lessons, I really learned a lot, like, from selling like shit and from just selling stuff, random stuff off the street right there. Like, that was the best day ever. It came with a lot of rejections and all that, but that day was actually a good day. So I think I'll end this video here. It was a short something, but I just wanted to bring in some life lessons. The last video I had, and maybe next year I'm coming back. Oh, not maybe. Next year, where I'm coming with a bang. Because I've actually learned that this year, the awakening that happened, right, led me to understand the path. Sort of, not the full path, but it actually led me to a path I think is the right path for me, right? It led me to that path where I feel fulfilled, even if I have billions of problems. If you knew how many problems I have right now, like, people like see me going around, I'm always, it's just that I've sort of switched into always keeping things in such perspective. Problems don't really matter to me no more, but they do matter because sometimes they keep me up at night. But I've switched perspective. I have so many problems, but I don't worry about them because I sort of know they're gonna solve themselves, and they're not gonna solve themselves. It's a conflicting thing that's going on inside of me, but I'm so proud of myself. What I accomplished this year, this was my year, and yes, I am claiming it. This was my year. Wow!